Well, folks, it's been a couple weeks since I've produced a video, and I figured tonight was a really good time to do one. I'm at a mechanic shop. This really sucks. This is going to be something you might have to deal with if you get an older RV. So I'm actually at a transmission specialist. Let me back up a little bit and I'll kind of tell you about what's going on, why I haven't produced a video in a couple weeks. Well, folks, I'm walking to a Starbucks. My RV's in the shop. Turns out I had a small leak in the transmission, and it was something that I had fixed before called a shift shaft seal, and the mechanic that had done it before apparently hadn't done it right, and so it started leaking again, so I had to bring it in to have that fixed. So for the past 2 weeks I haven't posted much on my fledgling channel because I've had a project come in that has kept me just buried. It's related to the project that I had at the end of the year last year that's very intense, and I ended up having to check into an RV park so I could have stable power to run my Mac Pro. Even though I have a solar setup, it can't feasibly run my Mac Pro at night. So I've been working on that and noticed underneath the undercarriage of the RV that there was a transmission fluid leak. It's this pink fluid, and I was like, crap. So I found a transmission specialist here in St. George. There's an RV rack, and I took it in, and I was worried that it was going to be something more serious, and they said it wasn't. After inspecting it and taking the bottom part of the transmission off and inspecting it, they said it was just the shift shaft seal. So as part of it, they did an inspection of the RV, and they found that the RV's old water pump was in the early stages of failing. So they showed it to me, and they said, look, you can see there's a leak coming out of a bearing here. And they said when that starts leaking on these older ones, just because of its age, it'll begin failing, and you don't want that to fail in the middle of a trip. So I had them replace that also. So I'm now $500 into repairs. And then as I'm at the mechanic shop, the guy had taken it out, the mechanic had taken it out to do test drives on it to make sure everything was right with his work. And then he got back, and I was there in the office when he drove back in with the RV, and they weren't back, and they were getting ready to bring it up front. In fact, I had gone back and I was talking to them because the power steering pump that I had put in a few months back has always been really noisy, and I asked them about that. So this is the second mechanic now that I've asked about the sort of the sound level, and they said, yeah, these older ones can be noisy, and I was nervous. I thought, well, did that other mechanic just not do a proper job, or did he, even not replace it and then charge me? I don't know. So they showed it to me, and they said, yeah, we can clearly see that this is newer. They said it's probably rebuilt. He says anything from this age that you get is going to be a remanufactured, rebuilt unit, and they weren't concerned about that. They said you can't actually get physically new units anymore, so it's going to be rebuilt. But they were looking at it, and they said, yeah, this looks like it's been replaced. And so anyway, so I'm there and talking to them, and the guy's backing it up, and one of the back brakes fails. Like, just my luck that day. Black fluid came out of the bottom of one of the back brakes. So I was like, crap. So this was at 6 o'clock. So there's nothing they could do about it yesterday. And they said it's likely, I forget what it was, a disc of some sort. So they're checking that this morning. They're going to fix that, and they're going to check the other wheel to make sure it doesn't have a problem. And I had both the back brakes worked on last year. When I first bought the RV, they said the back brakes needed work. So this is my bad for not fully understanding what it was, but they said when they originally did the work, the mechanic in Utah Valley, that it was the it was nearly metal on metal, so maybe the pads were needing something, but they basically rebuilt the back brakes. So whatever's going on here, I don't know if it's related somehow, but I'll know more today, and I'll be able to report on that more today. But yay fun having an older RV. But you know, of course it comes to mind that maybe they sabotaged it, because how likely is that the brake would fail right there at the mechanic shop? But I was thinking that's not super logical either, because they would have had to have gotten in there and broken something deep inside of the brake. And the guy got underneath and he showed me the fluid coming out from inside of the brake. So I doubt that they sabotaged it. I think maybe it was fortuitous that it happened right there. So that'll get taken care of. Anyway, I'm just doing this quick video while I walk to a Starbucks so I can get some work done.